What's up, guys? It's Jake, aka Tag, coming at you guys with another new video. This time we're going to be covering Minor Poison, a 3.1 elixir card deck, and it's going to have it's going to be pretty solid overall. It has archers for the graveyard counter. It has knight and skeletons to fend off those pesky elite barbs in the challenges. It even has Electro Wizard for that as well. And you have a lot of air defense in the Electro Wizard, archers, and poison for sure. Typically, I'm seeing a lot of people run the bandit deck, and when you're running bandit and you're in the minor control decks, I typically see like knight and then also a bandit instead of maybe the skeletons or archers. And that really is either going to hurt your cycle by removing the skeletons, or it's going to hurt your graveyard counters and your air counters if you remove the archers. So I think this is definitely one of the most solid Grand Challenge decks, with minor poison, that is, and just in general, I think it's one of the best minor poison decks in general. I've been using it a lot on ladder. I've been using it a lot on GCs. It's helped me get back into the groove of things with minor, and I'm gonna go over some replays with you guys. Let's start into this one. Let's go start in this one. I think this is against minor Lava Hound Lightning, I believe, with pump as well. So this will show you how to defend Lava Hound. It'll also show you how to defend against generally almost every tank deck that has lightning in it. As you guys can see, I actually cycled my miner at the start preemptively, and he had a pump, so that's really bad news for me. But because I went for minor skeletons, the skeletons actually were able to lock onto the tower and do a significant amount of damage to him, which is really nice. I fend off the Mega Minion with an Electro Wizard and drop a Knight because I see that he's going for a Lava Hound. I expect him to go for Skarmy, so I believe I pre-log, or maybe I just log right now. Yeah, I didn't pre-log. I probably should have pre-logged knowing it was a Lava Hound deck, but I wanted to retain as much elixir as I possibly could for the Lava Hound. So when you're fighting against the Lava Hound deck or anything, archers are typically the way to go. You don't really want to drop your Electro Wizard near your Inferno Tower, and that would just be too nice of a lightning target. You guys saw that one of my archers is still alive, and that's going to actually help me fend off this push. Right now, I don't want to take a Mega Minion hit, so I'm going to drop my Electro Wizard, make the Mega Minion retarget, and I'm free to go right there. So I'm down a considerable amount of elixir because of the start. Him dropping that pump and me not having miner in hand really kind of hurt me. So let's see if I am able to come back right now. I dropped my Inferno Tower. I want to kill that Inferno, or I want to kill the Baby Dragon so it doesn't go behind the Lava Hound pups after the Lava Hound pops. So that's why I placed my Inferno right there. I know that after the Lava Hound's dead, if I don't poison, I'm going to take significant damage, so I clean up everything pretty nicely. And you guys can see that 5 elixir deficit is just got evaporated by clean defense with this deck. There's so many small cards like archers, skeletons, and just anything that you have. You can make really cost-effective defenses against huge pushes like that. So you guys see me going for the skeletons and the miner again. I knew he had Skarmy in cycle, so when he sees the miner, he should typically go for Skarmy, and I don't really know why he didn't do that. I would have hit all the Skarmy and everything, so it's really important when you're playing against Lava Hound decks to pay attention to their card cycle and know when you're going to log, because if they have Skarmy, you should always go for predictive logs with your miner. So right now I'm just not letting his supporting units get on my tower. The way he's going to win this is getting his Lava Hound on tower and just tanking for the supporting units. Whether it's a balloon, whether it's a Baby Dragon or anything, he wants to get the supporting units locked on. He doesn't really care about the miner, honestly. Miner's going to do damage, but it's not going to do near as much as what his supporting units will do. And my miner plus poison will always just outweigh his chip damage, at least. So right now, guys, I played this really well. I did really clean defense. I ignored the miner a few times, and I was able to just poison him out at the end. Solid defense with really little elixir trades, and I was able to come back from that 5 elixir deficit and just make the game mine. It's really well played by me. Alright, let's go into the next one. This is going to probably be a tougher matchup for a lot of people, playing against Bowler Graveyard with this minor control deck, but it's really just important to keep holding on to archers, know your opponent's card cycle again. If they're running Bowler, it looks like a deck that could potentially have Bowler, you don't really want to cycle your archers at the start, because you could just take like 1,500 damage, and it's really hard to come back in a Miner versus Bowler or Miner versus Graveyard deck when your chip damage isn't going to add up to the amount of damage that they can just get in one push. So you don't want to fall too far behind at the start against one of these guys. So I believe I'll cycle skeletons in the start, or maybe archers, because if I cycle archers, I'll be able to cycle back to them in time. Yeah, okay. So cycling archers in the start is not ever a bad play, but mid-match, if I saw that bowler, I would never cycle archers because it's just too scary. I would probably cycle Electro Wizard opposite lane or something. So I dropped my Inferno preemptively because I know that after I see bowler, it's a really real possibility that he has Graveyard or he has Giant. And if he has Graveyard, I just want to make sure that anything he hits or anything he has is not going to be tornadoed to my King Tower. Like if I drop something to defend the Graveyard or defend the bowler, he could tornado it into my my tower, and it would just really hurt. Didn't want to let that happen. Just scouting out his cards. I'm poisoning that Electro Wizard just to get some nice chip damage. 4 for 4, not bad at all. Gonna log it. Electro Wizard dies. I believe I drop Electro Wizard again, or no, I don't have Electro Wizard, do I? Yeah, I do drop Electro Wizard now. Okay, cool. So he drops a Tombstone in the back. That's probably to catch my Miner, but that's a 4 for 3 trade if I go for Miner Poison, and I believe I do. It's there's not much to stop me there, and I even hit the bowler with the poison as well, so that was a really clutch poison. Just chipping him away. I haven't really cycled my archers because I know he's running Graveyard. There's no point in it. I believe I dropped my archers in the back right now. And seeing that single elixir, it's actually really hard for your opponent to actually afford Graveyard, Poison, and also have a tank unit in front. So knowing that, I was pretty free to just drop my archers. Right now, I'm trying to get as much damage as I possibly can before double elixir, because that's when he's able to afford his big push for sure. I might even pressure opposite lane with like an Electro Wizard or Knight later on in the match. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't really want to let him stack up a huge push that I can't control. So I know that he has Electro Wizard as well. I'm probably gonna drop a Knight so it doesn't tank. Yeah, I do drop a Knight. Electro Wizard dies immediately. He gets the poison on my archers, which is really bad for me, but it doesn't end up mattering. The duration of the Graveyard just didn't last for him, so we're doing pretty well right here. I believe I'm going to drop a poison again just for some chip damage. I need to get a lot of chip on him. It's better than anything that I have in my hand. I don't really want to cycle skeletons. I probably want to save the skeletons for a bowler surround and drop my archers in the back again. I believe that's what I go for. Drop my archers in... I probably should have switched up my archers, maybe dropped it more to the left, because he knew that I was going to drop my archers there. And, yeah, I just keep going for minor poisons. If you're able to defend them and you have a little bit of a lead early on because he's not able to go for his Graveyard successfully early on, you're able to just run away with the game, honestly. And, yeah, I dropped my archers in the front this time because he poisoned almost every time in the back. He misses the poison because he predicted my archers to be in the back. And this is looking really nice for me. I go for my log, I go for my miner. Just a poison should finish him off. He's at 182. We got the game for sure. So that was really clean as well. It's all about identifying your opponent's deck and making the appropriate choices, not cycling the wrong cards. If you cycle archers, you're going to have a bad time. But as you guys can see, if you're playing another type of miner control deck and you don't have archers, I don't really know how you're supposed to defend... you're not really going to be able to defend Graveyard that well. You would lose that for sure if you're running Bandit, Knight, or something crazy like that. People are saying that, oh, I can just poison the Graveyard. But for a negative, or for a +1 trade, you're taking 300 damage every single time from the Graveyard. At least 300 damage. So that's really brutal. I would never really suggest poisoning a Graveyard unless you're in a really dire situation and you're just trying to defend for the last, like, 20-30 seconds. It's not like a consistent counter to it. Unfortunately. I thought it would be at the start. Alright, so let's hop into another game. This one's going to be against Giant, Lightning, Bowler, and Tornado as well. So this should be a pretty hard counter against us, honestly. But let's see if we can pull it out. I mean, we do, but you guys will see in this game, I did not get a good start. I did not have anything really favored for me, and I was able to pull it out. So it just shows that this deck is very strong when played correctly. Also, there's going to be a few things definitely to show in this deck. So I split archers in the back, wait for his move. Archer split will deal with the fire spirits. One archer will deal with 2 waves of fire spirits. I actually just decided to drop my electro wizard and not have my archer damaged in the second wave. Archer does die to, well, it will die to the bowler. I get a really nice poison on the tower, the bowler, and the furnace. That's a lot of value right here. I can actually just log the bowler and the incoming wave of fire spirits and kill everything. Let's see if I choose to do that. Oh, actually the bowler doesn't die. I lied, guys, I lied. Alright, so, it's dropping that Inferno. I'm going to probably drop my Knight to kill the bowler, and so then I can drop Skeletons to kill the Giant. A huge part of this deck is if they have splash units or anything, the Skeletons die really, really fast. But if you have a tank for it, like the Knight, or just using your Knight effectively in this deck, like against Golem Baby Dragon decks, using the Knight so the Baby Dragon doesn't splash on the archers, so you're just trying to keep everything alive with that really tanky Knight. If you're trying to switch it out for Bandit, Bandit doesn't actually serve that role, so it's just not going to work for you guys. Right here, I do log. This was one of my few misplays in the game. I didn't log the Electro Wizard forward. If I did that, I wouldn't have taken a hit. So for sure that if I could go back in time, that would be the one thing that I'd change in this game. But everything else, I believe, was pretty clean. We're just going to drop Knight in the back. We're probably going to drop archers right behind our Knight. We don't really care about the left lane because we see that it's a minute left, and this is going to be a 1-1 or this is going to be a 1-0 situation anyways. There's no way this goes double time. And he actually gets a tornado. I'm trying to mix up my placements because I just didn't believe he would actually have tornado in a deck that has lightning and lightning in it. I thought this was just an old school giant lightning deck with maybe a few spells for Zap Bait, but this guy's rocking tornado. He's finessed me. So we again just use our Knight really well. We keep that one archer alive for a while, and it's able to DPS down that giant, which the giant would have gotten a few more hits if we actually didn't keep that alive and didn't tank really well with that Knight. We're going in for that poison. We need to get a lot of damage right now pretty quick, so I'm probably not even I might not even drop my Inferno, or I might do a high Inferno placement right here. I do a high Inferno placement right here so he wouldn't be able to lightning it and the tower, and I think that helps me out a lot, although he did have Electro Wizard. So he's probably going to lightning this right now, if I believe, yeah, there he does. So as long as the Giant's not on the tower, I believe I got this game. I'll be able to cycle back to Poison, I'll be able to cycle back to Log, and I'll Skeleton surround the bowler, so the bowler doesn't get a nice hit, and the Knight will just defend my virginity for the last few seconds, and we take the game, guys. It's lit. That was a really close game. Hard counter. The dude had Tornado, and he had Lightning and Electro Wizard for my Inferno. It just shows you, even if you lose your Miner to the King Tower, if he decides to pull it over, you can still come back and win the game. You just don't ever really want to give up in a Grand Challenge game, even if you feel discouraged by a hard counter. You can come back with this deck. It's really fast cycle. With that 3.1 cycle, you're able to cycle back to Miner, Poison, and Log to just finish out games so much faster than your opponents. And he actually was he was expecting a really easy Lightning. I didn't give him that target. If you guys know, well, now you guys know that switching up that Inferno placement is just really key. He would have won the game straight up right there. If he would have got the Giant on the tower, it didn't happen for him. Using that quick Inferno placement up in the top, he's not able to Lightning the tower and the Inferno, and it's really it's a cool trick to bust out sometimes. Alright, let's hop into a Zap Bait, or do we hop into Lava Hound? I think we already did a Lava Hound game before, so let's hop into the Zap Bait one. This will be the final game, guys. So against Zap Bait, if they're running Knight, I don't like to typically go for that aggressive Minor Poisons. But if they're running the Minion Horde or Skarmy variant, Minion Horde Skarmy, double spell or whatever, if they have Minion Horde in their deck, basically, they're probably not going to be running Knight. And if they don't run Knight, then you can pretty much predict that they're going to be dropping some squishy unit every single time on your Miner. So you can always really just go for that predictive Poison. And I go for the Poison right there. I see the Minion Horde. I'm just we're going for that Minor Poison. I drop my Skeletons. Skeletons are really good against minions. I'm able to drag those 2 minions away. Those 2 minions would have gotten 300, 400 damage if I just left them alone. For 1 elixir, just keeping that away from my tower, it's so worth it. He's up 2 elixir right now. When you see the guy dropping Princess at the bridge, you know he's going to be pretty aggressive with that for the rest of the game. and you can pretty much predictively, like, you'll see throughout the rest of the game, I'll be trying to, like, drop either archers, like, in front of my tower or Electro Wizard or something, because I don't ever really want that to lock on. I don't want to let him get that free chip damage for no reason. And that's actually really key throughout the rest of the game. I don't remember if he does drop anything, or if he actually does, if I catch it, but it's really important to just continuously do that. I get a minor poison. I know he's running the minion horde variant. I actually expected a mirror in this deck because that's typically what it is when it's Skarmy and Princess, and yeah, I typically see mirror. Go for a nice log right there. Clean out everything. Yeah, he says well played. We were up 3 elixir because we have a knight on the field, and then we're even elixir basically. I believe I just go for another minor poison. Every single time he drops an Inferno, it's like, it's so much elixir for him that 3 for 5 trade for him is just, that -2 trade is just always gonna let me go for a aggressive minor poison like that. Just, you don't ever want to see, you always want to see your opponent doing something like that. So I believe I'm actually able to cycle back to minor poison and hit the princess because it's double elixir. I'm just gonna clean that up with a log right here. Yep, good. I should be able to go for minor poison right now and just get on tower. That's what I feel like. And I've noticed his card order. He doesn't have knight. He doesn't have anything to stop. So I'm just going to continuously go for that minor poison. And it should have eventually just take the game. Once you guys have your goblin barrel in the cycle against someone that's going for hipster barrels and stuff like this, like, you're just never really going to take damage. If you watch the shadow of the goblin barrel every single time, like, you'll eventually learn when it's going to be a hipster barrel and when it's not. I noticed it wasn't going to be a hipster barrel. No reason of dropping my log when I could drop an Electro Wizard for a -2 trade, but I'm actually just getting an Electro Wizard for 2 elixir, so I'll take that almost any day of the week. So we go, I believe we just go for game right now. I believe I dropped my poison even before my miner. I just want to get, yeah, I just want to get my miner on there safely without anything touching it. I don't want to have a single skeleton touching my miner. I want to get the last, I just need 1 or 2 hits and I took the game. Yeah, so this deck is incredibly strong. Pretty easy 12 wins. You guys can see right here, it does beat Lava Loon. I beat Lava Loon almost every time on ladder with it. It's really fun. But if you guys have any questions about this deck, if you guys have any thoughts on what I should be running for the next video, let me know. I've really been enjoying this series about Grand Challenge decks and just in general. It's also really helpful seeing all the support I get on Twitter from you guys. I really appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch my videos, and I'm glad you guys have been learning a lot. So I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, thanks guys. Just make sure to comment if what you want to see next time. Peace.